Well, I know I'm a little late to the party, but Bad Penny has been taking up all of your time. But that's okay. It's almost Halloween. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Lust. I'm sure you and I know each other quite well. If not, we'll just have to fix that very, very soon. Now, won't we?
Welcome to Monday Night Metal. John Clouds of Johnny Metal, the metal that I think I just left my panel completely gobsmacked after that little video.
Move, Dan, get out of the way. I saw her first. Our mic.
I
Who was that?
I want to give a special shout out to that young lady. She has a Facebook and Instagram page. Go check it out, called Nightmares and Day Screams. She does a lot of special effects makeup, mostly for herself, but she is starting to branch out and get involved in some pretty fun things out there. So, and I wanted to thank her for letting me use that little video here tonight. So, again, welcome, guys. So we first have, I'll just go by how I see it. Okay. Well, Al, I got to throw people off a little bit. All right, so let me go how I see it here. So we got Jake Knott from State Farm. We got Sydney from Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. We got Metal Roger back in the house.
Am I co-host technically? I'm
Kinda
Garrison.
politely.
I'm gonna call myself Garrison.
There you go. We have Xantrotron from Off the Charts.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, go Senators.
And then we have from Grab a Stack of Rock. We got Mike Ladano.
Blotto's the best band ever.
Hey, Mike, remember 2 weeks ago when we interviewed Rick Hughes from the band Sword?
Oh, yes, I do remember that. That was great.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, first of all, let's greet everybody out in the chat room. We got Christina in the house. I got poor Elle. I got her all messed up from the first video. We got George in the house. Of course, we got Dan. And of course, Sydney. All of us joining in here in the chat. So tonight, since it is a little bit before Halloween, let's get a little spooky. Let's get a little creepy, maybe. So we all kind of have maybe like a little bit of a lighthearted, entertaining, kind of spooky, scary type of story. Well, maybe it might go into a little bit of a little bit deeper, darker kind of thing. But we're hopefully not going to get and let's welcome in. Of course, we see who it is. We know. How are you? Good to see you in here tonight. We have Mr. Christian Haynes in the house. Thank you. We're not going to get like Ghost Adventures on Pavaglia Island deep dark here. Let's keep that in mind. So we're just going to kind of keep it lighthearted and see what we can do. And let's just have a little bit of a fun time. I think I already said that. So put that out there. So who do I want to start off with first? Let's see. Sydney.
Oh boy, put me on the spot, huh? Mine's lighthearted. It's not really spooky. It's just kind of more of a coincidental, funny thing that happened. You already know what I'm going to say because I kind of talked about it on the last show. So this involves Dan, the real Dan, Mike Ladano over there, who's pretending to be Dan. No, not you, the other one in the red. We're confusing so many people right now. But yeah, so our last show we did on Slogans was a Kiss show. It was we each picked our favorite song from the first 9 Kiss albums. And so there's been kind of like a running joke. We've had Dan on the show a lot of times. And for whatever reason, it's never worked out where Logan's been able to be on the show with Dan. We've kind of like done stuff that he's not really interested in, so it's just had to find other people. But Dan's always wanted to come on and somehow do a show with Logan at some point, and we've just never been able to manage to do it. So there was this running joke. Dan's like, Logan must not like me because he never does a show with me. Dan's doing Mike's doing the Logan impression of the
No, the last comment said, real Dan, please stand up. So I'm standing up, eh?
Okay.
That's all it is I'm standing up.
Oh, gosh.
So I thought it'd be the whole Johnny was there, so we had this whole full panel of people to do this Kiss show, and I thought it'd be funny to pull a prank on Dan, and everyone kind of went along with it and pretend that Logan canceled last minute and he's actually not going to make the show, just to continue the trend of Logan not doing shows with Dan. I was going to screw with him and just have like a lighthearted prank, and then he would actually come on the screen, everything would be fine, just to get Dan's reaction. So everything was going well. I get a text from Logan right before the show. Oh, my internet's out, so now I actually can't do the show. So it's just like the prank ended up basically being on me. So the chances of that ever happening again, I just thought it's not really scary, but it's just a weird kind of thing that happened. And I'm like, well, that kind of serves me right, I guess, for trying to pull a prank on Dan. So yeah, it was kind of funny that happened. I was like, actually, like, really? I'm texting Logan, like, please tell me you're messing with me. He's like, no, I'll try to get on my data. But then he came in and said about two things, and it froze, and it kicked him out. It was, more frustrating. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, mine was a little bit more lighthearted. I'm sure that's probably the least spooky. It's not really spooky. It's just kind of a weird coincidence, right?
Right.
I would say there's a word for that, and it's called karma.
Yeah, basically.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of something kind of creepy to share that happened, but yeah.
All right. We got everybody in the chat saying, hey to everybody. We had Kyle here kind of changing everybody's name around.
Like Madonna. Chandar. Oh my god.
Anywho.
Chandar Trend.
That
Would
sounds
be your...
very, Chandar Trend. Oh, that's the best one.
Oh boy. Anywho. All right.
Right.
So we got a good lighthearted story to start things off. Now, who do I want to pick next? That's the question.
This is weird.
Metal Roger.
Oh, I have props. Look, Mike. I'm in this book. So look at this close up. And this is the awesome one. Look at his ugly mug.
Red Fox.
Look at his ugly mug. Anyway, I'm not telling the story in this book.
He's gonna read the whole book.
Anyway, my point is, or what I mean, I'm a big ghost believer and all that. So I'm gonna tell the story of when my friend died suddenly, which is a little sad, but whatever. Now I'm getting choked up. Anyway, what the?
Stupid.
Yeah, let's just
Redel Modger, Monty Jettle, Steak Nut from Jake. They're ridiculous.
Some names work better than others.
Yeah. Anyway, this is more of a kind of a coincidence, but it's really eerie. My buddy goes to the casino and he sees a machine that says Big Red, and then he won money because he played on the machine. And then he tells me, and he's like, you should go to the casino and see if you can win money. And I went to the casino, and my wife is banging on the machine, and I said, stop banging on the machine. Ian will handle it. And then I got bonus spins directly after, as she was banging on the machines. And then with the bonus spins, I won $500.
No.
gotta love
And
that.
then another friend of his went to the casino, I'm pretty sure, as far as I remember, and he won money too. And then I tried to get his sister to go to the casino, but she wouldn't. She would probably be a millionaire by now. So I have a lot of stories. A lot of them are kind of weird, but that's definitely weird. And there's no such thing as coincidences, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
The universe is much bigger than we expect. And that's karma, kind of, too, because maybe. I don't know. But it's weird how 3 of his best friends won money.
Nice.
That is, yeah. That
And I will actually be telling that in my friend's next book, too, because that's kind of really creepy. Anyway.
rock and roll. All right, let's see. Who do we want to go with next? Jake.
Okay. I got a true scary story.
Okay.
The first time Linda and I went down to Florida, this is an actual story. We were at Universal Studios. We got in line to do the Transformers ride, which is centered around the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. We're deep into the line queue, and the ride breaks down, and we're stuck in the same spot. I was like, we'll be back up within 5 minutes. Please hold tight. 5 minutes turned into 45 minutes, and we hear like Peter Cullen, I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. Blah, 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 something, something, something. The Allspark. And he's on repeat the whole time, just going over and over and over. And Linda's never seen these movies, right? And we get on this ride. It's really amazing. And I'm like, I'm so tired of hearing Peter Cullen's voice at this point. I'm like, I am over it, man. I am so over it. And we get off of it, and Linda looks at me, and she's like, tonight when we get back to the hotel, we should see if we can find these movies so I can watch them. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear more of this and see the video screens with the mindless explosions. And I'm hoping she'll forget about it, right? We get back to the hotel. We sit down with our dinner. She cues it up. Well, they're like 3 hours of mindless explosions. I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. Here is Shia LaBeouf getting jiggy with it to Nickelback's Burn It Down.
You know, that's not a terrible impression. I don't like that. It's good.
Yeah. It almost rivals LaDonald's Metal Roger.
May I ask a question,
That's
though, before Mike
a
does
horror
that?
story for you.
I got a question. Did you ever get insulted by Megatron there? Because that's my dream, to get insulted by Megatron.
Nah, we didn't see Megatron.
Ah,
I forget how far in the Transformers movies I watched before I finally gave up on them, because I thought after the first one they started just getting too, I don't know, silly or I don't know something. Yeah, I don't know.
I have them all.
Johnny, this summer, just because I was really bored, I watched them all.
Yeah.
You're right. The first one's the best one, and then it's kind of declining, especially when you get to the Marky Mark Wahlberg. Those are terrible. Then it gets really good when they did Bumblebee with Haley Steinfeld.
and
Yeah.
John Cena, who you cannot see in the movie.
What?
I own them all.
I got that.
I watched them once. I only own them because they had a Marvel comic, because I collect everything Marvel. That's it.
Right. Ah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. Well, let's see who we got. Mike.
Which one?
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
the real
one or the fake one?
the actual Mike Lodano, not the.
okay, so just so nobody. Okay, so hi everybody. To me, it's Mike Lodano from Grab a Stack of Rock. I know everybody thought I was Dan, so just thought I'd come clean and say this is Mike, and I am from Grab a Stack of Rock. But Off the Charts is great, and I love Dan, and that's why we decided to do this tonight. So you guys caught me off guard. We've had 3 comedic stories in a row, and I was not prepared for that. So I knew it would come around to me, and I guess I'll go with my original plan, which was to tell an actual spooky one. So sorry, folks. These guys really came through with the funny ones, and I blew it.
Way to make it dark.
Yeah. So
a long time ago in the 80s and early 90s, there was this guy that lived in the cottage across the street, Jim Ferrier. And I always thought he looked like Hulk Hogan. He's always just really, really tan. He had kind of like a skullet. He had a mustache. So he kind of always looked like Hulk Hogan to me. But he died of a heart attack sometime in the 90s. And he left the cottage to his girlfriend, Linda, and she lived there until the 2000s. And eventually they sold the place. And that's where things get spooky. They sold it to a guy named Ryan, who, strangely enough, was one of my sister's high school classmates. But Ryan was alone one day in the cottage, and he was just walking from one room to another when right in front of him, he saw the image of a man, big, mustache, and the man said, "What are you doing?" And disappeared. He described the man to the neighbors, and they all agreed that was a dead ringer for Jim Ferrier.
Oh, wow.
So what happened in that cottage that night? I'm not like Roger. Roger will have his explanation from his point of view, but my point of view is I don't really believe in ghosts. So what do I think happened? I don't know. I can't explain that, but maybe Metal Roger can explain that.
The spirit of your old neighbor. And eventually I told Michael I am going to manifest a lottery win, and I'm going to move to that cottage, which is Mike's really scary
Yeah,
story.
I'm terrified of that.
And what he doesn't know is I'm kind of a nudist, so
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
That
I'm
was the
kidding.
best horror story
That's
tonight.
the scariest story on this so far.
Wow. Everybody just forgot about my ghost story.
Fire truck has
Glad I'm not
invaded.
eating anything. Right?
Hi, it's me, Nude Roger, and I'm at the beach right now, and I'm really pasty white.
Oh
Oh,
boy, that's a
he's now going to change his name to Nude Roger. You know that.
By the way,
That's his OnlyFans name.
Oh, my
Turn off
hold
that
on.
flashlight.
That impression was terrible.
Dude,
You have to be more squeaky like you were before.
Nude Roger. Oh, my God.
I
Oh, boy.
I agree with that one, Christian.
Turn out the flashlight. Oh, boy.
But yeah, so okay, wow.
Mike's gonna become a ghost. He's
This is
dying. His face is red, guys. This is a real horror story.
Yeah.
I'm not there to do CPR.
I didn't even realize this was a confession show. Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, boy.
it's me, Metal Roger.
Oh, geez, guys, why are you all picking on me, trying to imitate me all night long? Just because Joey wants me to imitate me all night, I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Dan, good luck.
but Dan, the floor is yours, my friend.
All right. So the real Dan. By the way, I'm not Mike Ladano.
Damn it, I thought you were. had me-
Man, I thought you
Dan's
were
back.
way more handsome when you were dressed up as Mike
Oh,
Ladano.
Jesus.
I
Yeah.
like to.
That can't be true.
You grow a way better beard than him, though.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right. So,
What pants? Roger's not wearing any. No, I'm kidding.
oh God.
Oh no.
See, this is what happens when I don't filter myself.
Yeah. Yeah, top the nudist story. Yeah.
All right. So, Johnny, we got 3 stories, right, to say?
Whatever. Yes, go.
Well,
go
I
for
have
it.
3, but I'm going to do one, and I'm going to save the spooky real one for my last one. So, this first one was when I think I was about 5 or 6. I used to live in a town called Kirkland Lake. That's where I grew up in. And my parents were saving money to build a new house. So I think I was 5 or 6 when we moved in from the apartment to the brand new bungalow. And we lived what we call a dead end, which was a great place as a kid, but it was just woods all around. Okay. Like big time woods. And on the day of Halloween, I kid you not, you got to bear in mind also the house was, I would say, 80% complete. There was still stuff to be added to the house, and there's a reason why I'm saying this. So the newspaper came in that day, and I was getting babysat until my mom came back from work or whatever. And in the paper, front page, were two artists' conceptions of two killers wanted and who had escaped prison and were roaming the town of Kirkland Lake, which is a town of maybe 8,000 people, okay? Being 5 to 6 years old, living in a dead end, I'm looking at this paper and it's scared. The pictures were just like ridiculously, or the artist rendition were just scary. But of course, I refused to go to bed. And of course, my babysitter would be like, oh, you're gonna, these killers are gonna come. Like, you have killers escape from prison and on the loose in your hometown, and you're 5 and 6. So of course, came night. I'm like, okay, well, it's time to go to bed. And like I said, the house was only 80% built. I had no curtains in my room. So I somehow convinced my dad to put black garbage bags with masking tape to go and cover up that thing. Didn't sleep a wink that night. I have no idea still who those, if they ever were caught. I refused to go look the paper, but that night scared. Again, just happens to be on Halloween night too, of all, or Halloween week, I'll say there, but it was Halloween definitely that time there. So yeah, it was a pretty traumatic little night for me myself there. So not lighthearted, but not really.
No. It's not, it's again, we're not getting into Ghost Adventures on Pavaglia Island Park either. So that's good stuff though. We got Yvonne here telling a story in here. So I'm gonna just start it here. An old doll found at a flea market. The doll moves when no one is watching, and some have even found it in places. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. An old doll found at a flea market. The doll moves when no one is watching, and some have even found it in places where they never placed it. The doll's eyes seem to follow you.
Oh, jeez.
It's said that there's a mirror carrying a curse. Anyone who sees their reflection in this mirror will catch a brief glimpse of their own future death.
I've actually heard
Whoa.
of that urban legend.
Like Bloody Mary, basically? Or...
That's kind of like the Bloody Mary story, Yvonne. That's kind of cool, though. But yeah,
no, I've heard.
Man, maybe I should have had Yvonne on the show for Yvonne here. He could have told that story himself. But
oh, that wasn't Yvonne telling it. I thought that was.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yes, I guess that was me trying to do my best Yvonne impersonation. So, Yvonne, I hope that was a good enough impersonation for you. But oh yeah, it could have been Annabelle. So I don't really, it's kind of funny. I can't really say I have like a really spooky story per se. So the one I'm going to kind of talk about is, it's really not so much of a spooky story, but it happened at a haunted house.
Okay.
And I was, let's see, yeah, the impersonation of you or the story was scary. That's the question.
Both.
Oh my. Anyway, so this was I was probably like 16 going on 17, and I was asked if I could be I was asked to join a haunted house, and they needed somebody to like don a mask and just go around and scare people at a specific spot, right? So of course I got asked to do that because my girlfriend's parents at the time were part of this organization called the JCs, and it was their haunted house. So I was in this outdoor spot, so I put this goofy mask on and whatever. Now, the problem with this is there was like cases and cases and cases of beer in the back where I was. And apparently I had free range to this stuff. I wasn't driving yet. So of course they were like, yeah, Never tell a 16-year-old to start drinking beer. That's probably not a good idea, first of all. So I'm just drinking these cans down like Stone Cold Steve Austin. They were warm, and I was just drinking them down like a glass of water. So I'm just drinking this down, and I'm just like, all throughout the night, I'm just doing my stick to scare people off, basically like running around like it's a mosh pit type of thing. So it's like, that's kind of how we're running around with people. So, Christina knows about the JCs. She's a Northern girl, so she knows about those. So at one point I was like, I really needed a pee break. So I go out and I'm like going out towards the woods and doing my thing out there. And, let's see. It was kind of cold that night. So as of course I'm doing my number one, I see all this steam rising up. And I wonder what the heck. And I'm thinking, okay, wow, that's kind of cool. Never would have thought about that in the middle, in the night like that. You see all this steam rising from me having to urinate and stuff.
That's called being Canadian.
Yes. You probably know all about that from having to run out to the outhouse all the time. So anyway, so we finished, I finished the night off. I earlier in the night had a couple swigs of 100 proof vodka, and I had about 8 beers. Like I said, drank them down like a glass of water. So I'm feeling pretty good by the end of that night, right? Now, you all are Canadians, so you probably have no idea. I think there's going to be some folks in the chat here who I believe will know. Yeah, the next morning I had to get up to take my SAT test for school.
Okay.
Now, SATs, you may have heard something in the States. I think now they're called ACT. ACT is what it is. I think that's kind of like the new thing now. I can't remember
Just
that
switch
for
the
sure.
letters around?
Yeah,
ACT, not SAT.
ACT instead of SAT. Well, anyway, so if you were going to get a good score on a perfect score on an SAT, you had to do like 1,600. All right. And Christina knows about the SATs. Kyle, or no, that's Al. I thought that was Kyle's.
Test.
Anyway, yeah, I won't say on air my score, but it was, I definitely did not do 1,600. I didn't even really study. I'm basically like filling this thing, like fill in the dots, kind of connect the dots kind of thing. Cause I was blitzed out of my mind. Although the next morning, I will say when I got up and I was like, I got all these scratches on my arms. And then we went out to the area again, cause there was some stuff we had to collect. And we realized that where I had gone to take my ODP, there were holly bushes. And apparently I was walking in amongst the holly bushes, and that's how my arms got all scratched up. I'm like, how the heck did that happen? Well, that's where that came from. So
what are holly bushes?
Holly bushes, go ahead.
When you love a girl very much and her name's Holly, Dan.
Oh God. Oh no.
That was good. That was good.
Geez. I don't even know what to say to that. Anyway, so you get running around the holly tree. It's a happy holiday. Anyway, where am I going with that?
You were going to explain what a train was.
Let me read what Yvonne's got to say. Johnny Metal was known in the small town for his love of metal music and mysterious aura. He lived in an old creaky house atop the hill where no one dared to go after nightfall. That's about right. I wouldn't want to come in my house either. Sydney, do you have another kind of?
Yeah, it's kind of like EQAO test. No, not really. I have a story.
There you go, Dan.
Really
there you go, Dan. Holly branches are big medicine for druids. There you go.
Wow.
Thank you, Brian, for that. Appreciate
Sweet.
I did maybe just want to mention that I did actually kind of do something. I was, oh God, I was 15. And just for a weekend, me and my dad got hired to basically set up this haunted house as a gym. This was in Brampton. Mike would know where that is. And at a local gym, Jim Archdeacon. Mike probably knows that place. No? Okay. Well, it's basically a gym and swimming pool thing that was attached to our school. So they were setting up some haunted house, and I basically got to scare kids that day when they find on Halloween night.
Certain
There you go.
things
Laid
said
underneath.
in certain ways.
Oh yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Well, we helped set up the. No, we helped set it up, and then we basically just
Yep. No,
once
we
it was
get
set
it.
up, we jumped out at kids. All I basically did, I got to lay underneath like the set, and there's like a transparent ground.
Yeah.
So I was just laying there, and then like as soon as someone would walk on top, they're not expecting something from underneath, and they'd be banging on it. Yeah, it was kind of fun to do that. But I don't really have any scary stories, but just I wanted to share that, I guess.
It was better before you elaborated on how it was set up. But
Yeah, I scared children. Oh, I was 15, so I was a child anyways.
Right.
I can tell you something funny. The last time I did a haunted house would have been like 2000 or so. And we were up at my friend Trevor's apartment, and there was one kid. Everybody was dressed up as Darth Maul that Halloween, it seemed. And this little kid comes up dressed as Darth Maul, and I made the mistake of calling him a Jedi. And he just stomps his feet and goes, "I'm a Sith!"
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to continue Yvonne's story here. So Johnny Mettler was never seen again, but his name was remembered as a warning of the price one pays for challenging the dead. Love it, Yvonne. Thank you. All right, Roger, do you got another quick story? I want to try to. I want to give.
I sure do.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a
And
quick.
I might as well tell the story way better than what I wrote in that book that I showed earlier.
Go for it.
I'm not showing it again. No, he doesn't pay me. Anyway, so my uncle was really sick, and I had some. Well, anyway, let me restart. My uncle was really sick. My mom couldn't find the address book with all of the family's numbers in it, because back then we didn't have this with a million numbers in it. So anyway, she spent like a week looking for it, and then all of a sudden I had a weird feeling my uncle was going to die. So I looked up to the heavens, and I said, "Grandma, I don't effing care if it scares the crap out of me. Throw the book on the ground. I will walk to the other room and go talk to my mom." Anyway, went back there, and the book was magically on the ground. And then we went to the hospital. My uncle was dead 10 minutes later.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Dark.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
How I magically made a book appear. And yes, I'm smart enough to look on the ground, I would think.
Well,
Multiple times.
Wow.
But
All
yeah,
right.
and then the weirdest part is I'm pretty sure I saw my grandma's spirit at her funeral. And I'm of the belief when you die, you're first an orb, and then eventually you become your best self. So my best self will be when I was doing DDP yoga all the time and had a beard down to here.
There you go.
Anyway, but yeah,
Right.
no, it was definitely my grandma, because it left when my uncle left. It was weird at her funeral. Anyway, that's why all these weird things are why I think ghosts exist, and there are probably some in the house right now. Who knows?
There you go. Jake, do you have another one you want to share?
Sure. So years and years ago, I worked at a lockdown Alzheimer's unit. It was the Supermax of Alzheimer's units. It was the San Quentin of Alzheimer's unit. And there was this resident. He was nearing the end. He was, he didn't do anything. He sat in his chair. He was an old priest. We shall call him Father Phil. That is not his name, but we shall call him Father
The
Phil.
names have been changed to protect the innocent or the guilty.
Yeah. His name was Father Phil. Father Phil didn't do anything. Well, one night I'm doing my rounds and walking the hall. There, standing stark naked in the middle of the hallway, is Father Phil upright. Phil, you okay? Turns to me. He says, Dan Chartrand sucks. Not really. But he turned.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
But he turns to me and he starts recapping his whole week. His whole week in vivid detail. And I've never heard this man speak a day in my life. He recaps his whole week. Then he walks, so I'm walking him up to the nurse's station. And we sit him down in a chair, and he's having a conversation with us, and he's telling us about his time in Vietnam, and that made him want to become a priest. And he gives us his life story, and then he just passes away. Just passes away about 45 minutes after I'd seen him standing there stark naked. He passed away in a chair.
Well,
Can you tell us the Dan Chartrand part of the story again?
Yes, he turns to me and he says, Dan Chartrand from Off the Chart sucks.
Oh,
Ask
Hey,
him
that's
about
right.
Thunder Mother, though.
Can
Wow.
you do the impression of me while saying that though?
Hey, Liz, what's your opinion on Dan? What? Oh, hey,
You know-
everyone.
You know
Liz
what my
wants me to
favorite
tell you
part?
that the best thing Metallica will ever release was Dave Mustaine.
oh God.
You know, my favorite part of doing these shows while Liz works a completely different shift is she's no longer here to interrupt me. So
Don't forget, everyone, I have an OnlyFans. It's called Nude Roger.
Oh,
Oh, geez. Oh God.
I got one more story, by the way.
Oh,
if there's time.
Dan Chartrand. Go for it. Because we're gonna
All
do
right.
one more from Dan, one more from Mike, and I got one more real quick one. And then we've got to wrap it up. So
okay,
Go
so
ahead.
then I'll go with my serious one then. I am not a believer of talking to somebody that's, from the afterlife, that's passed away and all that. I'm not a believer of that. When my mom passed away in 2003, just to make a context with the story, the last time I had talked with my mom was with an argument. Okay, that was the last time I talked to my mom, and then 2 months later, found out she passed away. So, lesson here: be careful what you say or don't say with your loved ones here. Anyway, many years passed by, but I'm sure stuff has been said. But anyway? So my sister, her in-law mom, is apparently talks to spirits or stuff like that, and had asked me if I wanted to communicate with my mom in the afterlife. And I was like, nope, I don't want to do that. Biggest reason is I'm scared of hearing something I don't want to hear. That's the main thing. I don't go to psychics, or I don't want to hear something I don't want to hear about. Okay. Now, that was the end of that. A few months later, my sister hands me an envelope, and she goes, well, so-and-so actually did contact the dead or your mom, and she was writing it down what my mom was saying on a piece of paper. I have the piece of paper somewhere. I hid it away so well, Johnny, I can't even find it anymore. But my sister hands me.
Rogan has it.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister hands me an envelope, just says Dan on it. He goes, "This is my mother-in-law apparently talking to our mom, which is my sister and myself's mom." And I was like, "Oh my God, Nat, she didn't do this. Like, I didn't want this." So of course, now you got the product in front of you. You're curious to see what this is about. So at the time, I think I was maybe less than a month going out with my current ex there. And I'm like, all right, let's find out. And I'm reading, I'm not going to say what the letter was, but it was basically, I'm very happy. Oh, she wrote one for my dad also. That's right. Because my dad had moved on also and was going out with someone now. So now I'm happy with that you were with this person. I'm sorry for all the grief I caused you while I was alive. And like I'm reading this with my ex, and then like tears are falling and like flowing. I was like, what's going on here? Now, part of me believes that this was true. It was like basically a written confession of how certain things should not have been said while she was alive, while we were both alive. And the more I think of it, like part of me thinks that this actually happened, but part of me also is I could have mentioned that story to anyone in the family, and I think I did. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, I got a letter from my mom through my sister's in-law mom, writing while swinging this pendulum. I forget the whole story there, but it was just that's as creepy as a story that I've gone through. Let me put it that way. So
Right. Wow.
Roger,
sorry to put the tone down there, guys.
Wow.
I believe in that. I won't mention why, because
But it could have been something that I said out loud also, because again, I'm telling you guys that I was not in a fight with my mom, but we were not on speaking terms. So I'm telling you, I must have told other people that went maybe around. That's the part of me that finds that this story may be true or may not be true. So,
Right.
but that the letter exists. I have it somewhere. I stored it away so well. I didn't want to see it anymore. And there you go.
may I say something? Because I'm
No.
a big spiritual person.
No.
Is it, dear sir, madam? It is your good friend Prince Moffat
Be right back.
from God, where is he from? The prince that used to send you emails. Everyone got them.
Nigeria?
Yeah, Nigeria. You must send me your bank account and social security information. I will send you $1 million if you do. You are a great inheritance to this. Have a great day, sir, madam. Prince of Nigeria.
I was just gonna say I can kind of speak to, the deceased, and I did that to my mom, and my uncle told me to mention a dog that I would have no clue about, and I was right about the dog. So, and my mom was like, "What the hell?" Freaked her out.
All right, Mike, do you have what you got? What you got left? We'll round you out with this
Okay, very, very quickly. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had a dream where you can physically feel things.
Yes,
I've had
all
a
the
few.
time.
Not often, but I've had a few. The youngest one I can remember, I was sitting in my bed, or sleeping in my bed, I should say, and something smashed me right in the face. Like I could physically feel the pain of being smashed in the face with something, and I can't explain what that was. But when I was in...
Bootied stripper you were with the night before.
I was like in grade 5. But anyway, a little bit later on, I would say probably in my 20s, I had a very vivid experience where I woke up in the middle of the night. I got out of bed, but as they sometimes do, my feet got tangled in the blanket and I tripped and I fell forwards. But instead of falling, I floated. I floated down the stairs, although somehow now I was on my back. Even though I'd fallen forward, I was now somehow on my back like this, floating down the stairs into the living room. And in the living room, I could see several small bald-headed beings. And I reached out my hand and I touched one on the head and I could feel its head. And then I woke up.
Oh my God!
So there you go.
Visions of the future of meeting me.
These were aliens.
Wow! And
Wow.
then Roger ruins it.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's my story.
There
He
you
was
go.
abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, yeah, I'm not even going to try to top that. So, but what I am going to do is, like I said, I wanted to try to keep this kind of short because we got baseball fever up in Canada. We got, I know the Contrarians are doing a big show at in about 10, 15 minutes. So I want to make sure people are off for that. But I want to thank everybody for sharing these kind of stories with us. I think this has been, this has been more of a riot than I expected it to be. We've all had a good laugh with everything tonight, and I really wanted to thank you guys, Jake, Sydney, Roger, Mike, and Dan, all you, Yvonne in the chat, George, Kyle, Al, Christina, Christian, Brian, everybody that's been in the chat, Tia, everybody that's been in the
Not
chat.
Joey.
And
Not
Joey, I'll even throw
No,
him in.
not him.
No, not him. Okay.
I was gonna tell a scary story about him now, but
I want to end this. Actually going to end this with a song, and I got to share it because it's actually there's a birthday boy in the band today. Now, a couple weeks ago, I shared a song from a band called Love Coma, and I'm going to do another one here tonight. Today is the leader of Love Coma. His name is Chris Taylor, and it's his birthday today. So, Chris, if you happen to tune into this, dude, happy birthday. Thank you for a lot of music that you've been putting out there. Go check out Chris Taylor Art, I believe his website is. He's on Bandcamp, he's on Patreon, and he's got a lot of good stuff out there that you can check out. So I want to end this. The song's not really a spooky song, but I wanted to pay tribute to the birthday boy. So there you go. I hope you all had fun in the chat watching all this. And let me just ride this out with this fun little song here.
eat your heart out, Jax.
Oh God. Let's see. Let's see. I got to do the share screen part. Let's see. I got to do this. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do this. Hang on. I got to get there. Come on.